Hey guys, how you doing? I'm doing okay. Today, today we're gonna have a little bit of fun here. We're gonna have some fun. Now, this is primarily a trivia-laced video and something that I'm always interested in of actors and actresses after they appear in movies that we enjoy. What happens afterwards? What happens with that actor or actress after or even before they seem to disappear off the face of the map? So I'm always looking for movies that have my favorite or most memorable stars, actors in them. Now today I'm going to cover a few movies along this line. The first one of which is Death Scream. Okay. Death Scream is from 1975. I don't know, this is 1970. Maybe it is 1970. No, it is 1975. I'm sorry. See that's yeah. See that's 60, 75. 75. And you see that's RSO Films. Now does RSO stand for the Robert Stigwood organization, the people behind the success of the Bee Gees? I don't know. But here is this movie, Death Scream. Now, what this movie is about is a woman gets killed in front of and inside of an apartment house, and her screams are heard by all the neighbors, but they're so afraid that they don't want to be involved. Okay, and that's basically the what this movie's about. So here's Death Scream. This has Lucy Arnaz, but I'm not that familiar with Lucy Arnaz, but I'm very familiar with Edward Asner, who in 1975 is well known in the TV world. As a matter of fact, I think every actor who appears on this that I'm showcasing here were basically television stars, okay, and well-known television, people, okay. Edward Asner, who everybody sees on the Mary Tyler Moore Show. Art Carney, okay. Art Carney is well beloved as Ed Norton on the 1950s sitcom The Honeymooners with Jackie Gleason. He also appeared in a Twilight Zone episode in a totally un-Ed Norton appearance. So in this appearance, he is more of the everyday man that is, I think, reflects it from the Twilight Zone appearance, and less than more away from the Ed Norton appearance. So here we have Art Carney in 1975, 20 years after his appearance on The Honeymooners. Here is Chloris Leachman, who I believe in 1975 is enjoying a run in Rhoda, but I first became aware of Chloris Leachman in a Twilight Zone episode. And speaking of Rhoda, we had just had her. We have Nancy Walker. Oh yeah, Chloris Leachman. Well, Chloris Leachman, I think, had her own series, Phyllis, right? So both of them started out from Mary Tyler Moore Show, but Chloris Leachman, I believe, was Phyllis. She had her own show. I didn't really much care for it. Nancy Walker, I do remember her. She was the spokeswoman for Bounty Towels, the Crooked Picker-Upper, Rosie, and now, I should say in 1975, she was Rhoda's mother. Now, here's something interesting. Now, Eric Braeden, okay, he first appeared previously in Colossus, the Corbin Project, I believe it was, in 1970. He also appeared in Return of the Planet of the Apes. I believe that was 74, I think, or 73, I'm not sure. But this is Eric Braeden, 5 years, remember this is 75 now, 5 years before he would debut on The Young and the Restless soap opera as Victor Newman, a role he has enjoyed and played for decades since. But this is before he became well known as Victor Newman on The Young and the Restless. So here's Eric Braeden in an early appearance. Now, here's another interesting appearance. Tony Dow. Okay, Tony Dow. And for those who are familiar with Leave It to Beaver, the late 70s, early 60s sitcom, with, Tony Dow was the older brother of the Beaver, the Beav, and it is really interesting to see Tony Dow, about 15 years? Yeah, about almost, 10 to 15 years since we last saw him as the Beaver's older brother, Wally. So, that would be very interesting to watch. And just as a interesting little bit of trivia, this movie was written by Sterling Sullivan. Now, Sterling Sullivan, I guess I'm a little bit of a fan of, because of him being the writer, I guess, of the screenplay of The Towering Inferno. Okay, so Sterling Sullivan, even though The Towering Inferno was based on 2 novels, Sterling Sullivan was the screenplay, I think, wrote the screenplay. So here he is, Sterling Sullivan, again after The Towering Inferno. I think maybe a year or so after The Towering Inferno, here writing this story. Here is the woman. Now, we were talking about being a xenophobe, experiencing xenophobia. You are alone at night. Xenophobia, is that a bad thing? I think this is xenophobia here. Plenty of xenophobia here.
Eddie. Man's back. He's looking for that girl.
Men are always looking for her. We must take care of ourselves.
We must do something. Call the police.
We have our own problem. I don't want to be noticed. How often do I have to tell you that?
This is not Poland.
Do you know what will happen when the police come in here? They will send us back to Poland. You want to go back to Poland? You crazy or something?
Well, if somebody finds her here, they will come anyway.
I'm sorry. Come here. There is nothing I can do.
Daddy, please.
You're having a nightmare.
I don't have nightmares. I just have sweet dreams.
So what do you tell them? You heard a scream. From where, the lad? Who screams? Who are you? Always questions.
It's their job. It's a job of questions.
They'll come up here and ask more questions. What do you want to look stupid? Anyway, the screams have stopped. You'll be sorry.
Listen, a girl has been screaming and screaming. Yes, I think it's Jenny Storm. She's a neighbor. She resides at 9316 Harrison Street. What difference does it make who this is? I'm telling you, there's a girl in trouble. What do you get paid for? Will you get somebody over here right away? So, good citizen.
Yeah. Trouble. Involvement.
A voice in the night. Who can say it was mine?
You know who sleeps light? You know who lives on his windowsill? Who hears good? I want you to squeeze this neighborhood dry. Make the people talk. I gotta find out who called the precinct and why in hell she was the only one to reach for a telephone. Here's the desk sergeant's report on the call. See if you can find a lead in it. Who in this neighborhood says resides? Huh?
We'll check everyone on the block.
1 package of gum, 1 large wallet, and 1 lady's hairbrush.
You through here?
It's all yours, Nick.
Now, please, going back to your apartments, try to remember everything you saw or heard. I'll get around to everybody. You the manager?
Yes, sir.
Now, Jenny Stone lived right there, right?
That's right. She's in there. She never leaves till 8 o'clock.
Open it. Tell the officer downstairs to get an ambulance.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, lucky break for her.
How'd you happen to find him?
A woman was murdered just outside her door. I thought maybe she might have seen or heard something.
Not likely. She took enough barbiturates to knock out an elephant. If you hadn't have found her, we'd have had a tag on a big toe by now. When are you guys gonna start protecting people?
And they stopped killing each other. How soon do you think I can talk to her?
Not for another 4 hours.
I'll be back.
Listen here, I quit.
You know what? I don't think I'll ever eat lunch again.
Witness across the courtyard said he saw your lights on. You were standing by the window looking out. You must have seen something.
Oh, I see nothing.
The window was less than 10 feet from where the girl fell. You could damn near reach out and pick her up on her feet. Now, don't tell us you didn't see any man.
Yeah, but we were asleep, you know?
You were seen in the window. Other people saw you.
Other people lie all the time. Okay?
Let's go.
Hey. Don't you think this is the end of it?
Please, leave us alone.
What time was that?
Well, it had to be after 3 because I gave Alice some medicine about 1:15. All I can tell you is if I hadn't shot it, he'd have killed her right there in the street.
You'd call the police right then. Maybe the girl will still be alive.
But we wouldn't. He would have found out who called, come back later and killed us. Would you have protected us? Did you protect that girl?
Well,
Listen, you can't even protect yourselves. How come so many of you cops are being killed?
Come on, Alice.
We have nothing more to say. Now you go on and get out of here. You leave us alone, or
Or you'll call the cops.
Circle that I don't smoke.
You don't have the time. You're too busy making out.
Keeps you in shape.
Keeps you in trouble.
Manhattan, the borough was partly cloudy with a high of about 82 degrees. Now here's a little cool sound for a hot morning.
Yes? It's about that woman that was killed.
Why ask me?
We have a list of apartments where the lights went on, and your apartment is on that list.
Well, I didn't see anything.
Listen, friend, we'll just take you down to the station house.
You don't have that right.
This is a homicide investigation.
For God's sakes, let him come in. Come on in. Want some coffee?
Thank you.
Peter will tell you what he told me, won't you, dear?
Cover yourself. Okay. I saw him break the glass and go in after her.
What did he look like, sir?
Just a shadow. Long top coat, hat. For a minute, it seemed like it could be a woman dressed in men's clothes.
Why didn't you call us right then?
I have my reasons.
For letting a woman get killed?
Well, of course I couldn't have known that, could I?
What do you think?
Trim will be fine.
How should I know? Just a feeling. It's taken a long time asking these questions. My wife and I are busy.
Mr. Singleton, it is your duty as a citizen to take the time to answer these
Please fill the
questions.
cup.
A girl has been murdered. It could
I like
easily have
cups.
been your wife. Instead of complaining, you should start cooperating.
Would you come up and see me sometime?
You must have seen or heard something.
How could it be in the paper already? The police are still over there.
You have to look at it like lightning. It's a fact of nature. A lion kills an antelope. One antelope in a herd of thousands.
You look at it like lightning. Jenny Storm always said, "Good morning, Mrs. Jacobs. Good evening, Mrs. Jacobs," and never a long face. Would you call her an antelope to me?
Blue, Kathy, skirt.
You wish you had a gun just to answer the door.
Good morning, Officer Rodriguez.
Officer Rodriguez? Since when has it been Officer Rodriguez? Nick. Morning, Mr. Jacobs.
Morning, Nick.
Do you, like some coffee?
Yeah, thanks. Why did you hang up on Sergeant Lee?
Who knows a Sergeant Lee?
You called him at 4:32 this morning.
Oh, sure. Just like I won the Irish sweepstakes 6 years in a row.
A girl has been screaming and screaming. I think it's Jenny Storm, a neighbor. She resides at 9316 Harrison Street. Your friend, Mrs. Kessler, down the street says you're the only one on the block who says resides. Now, who else on this block says resides instead of lives?
A voice in the night. Who can say it was mine? Mrs. Kessler, that's who.
All right, I called. The pusher here didn't want me to. He kept saying, "Don't call, you get involved, they'll ask questions." Well, what's the matter with asking questions?
Be glad you called. You're the only one who did.
Poor Jenny, I mean, murdered right across the street. Listen, this was a girl we knew. You understand, we knew her. What's it all coming to?
Tell me what you saw and heard.
Nothing. I saw nothing. We just heard the screams. I looked out, but there wasn't anybody, nothing. We just heard those screams coming from inside.
Is that all? And you didn't see any movement or anybody going in or coming out?
Just the screams.
I've known you since I moved here, Mr. Jacobs. I've always respected you. Why didn't you want your wife to call us?
Nick, do you have a boss that takes off $3.85 when you're 10 minutes late?
That's not legal.
No, I know. Go tell my boss. $3.85 when I'm 10 minutes late. That's an hour's pay. Now look, if we had seen this man attack that woman, we would have to identify him, right? Is that right?
Yeah, well, I certainly hope so.
That would mean going downtown and going in someplace and standing around waiting. Waiting is money. And money is something that won't wait when you need it, which everybody does.
Thank you, Mrs. Jacobs.
What are you looking at? How long you been like this?
I just took off my neckerchief. Why?
That cop was up here, wasn't he? Huh?
I wanted to cheat. Think I'd be that stupid? You worry too much.
Saw the way he looked at you.
Doesn't hurt to look at him.
I know he was up here.
That's right, he was up here. Just wanted to be sure we'd answered all his questions. He takes his work very seriously.
I don't want him around here.
Don't blame me.
Damn cops are animals. Come around when a man's at work, trying to make time with his wife. And they wonder why nobody wants to talk to him. They know better than the criminals. If he bothers you again, I'm going to report him. You can tell him that. I'll get his badge.
Want me to tell him that?
No. I'll handle it.
Here is Tony Dow of Leave It to Beaver.
Joey, my name is Rodriguez. I read your confession. I'd like to go over some things with you, okay?
Yeah, sure.
You've never been in trouble before. Why the hell did you get into this mess?
Hey, look, man, whoever gets enough, huh? You ever get enough? I just went out and I got myself some more.
You're married, aren't you?
Yeah. Why?
What's your wife going to say about this?
Man, she's gonna read about it on the front page. See it on TV.
How do you think she's going to feel then?
She's gonna take me serious.
Ah, I see. So you want your wife to take you seriously, huh?
Yeah. She's gonna know who the man is in the family. working?
No. I got laid off 6 months ago.
Which one of them is this one, Joe?
It's the first one. Jenny Storm.
What did you do with her bra?
What's her bra got to do with anything?
Well, you didn't say anything about the bra in your confession, and we looked everywhere for it. We couldn't find it.
She didn't wear no bra.
There were marks of her bra on her body. What did you do with the bra?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I took it. I took it and I hid it.
Yeah, I see.
Don't ask me where I...
Yeah, here.
I remember.
You hid it in the police morgue, right? You're riding on some other man's coattails, aren't you?
No. No, look, so I forgot about the bra. I mean, so what? What does that mean?
Look at this wall. Look at this bar. In prison, they get closer and closer, and you just become a number for the rest of your life. Is that what you want? Is that what you want?
Know what I want.
You want your name in the papers as the #1 killer to impress your wife? Well, let me tell you, rapists are #1 nothing. They're dead because they want to be dead. And you're going to be dead too if that's what you want. Go ahead, be dead.
Why'd you have to go and spoil it, huh? I mean, I... Figure it out.
Mike, get me out of here.
Okay, moving along now. Now we're going with a 1988, 1988 film called Doing Time on Planet Earth. This is a very bizarre comedy, and the only reason why I'm watching this is for only one reason, and one reason only. Yes, you're reading that name correctly. 1988, Adam West. That is correct. From the 1960s series Batman, you will see Batman, aka Bruce Wayne, in a comedy 20 years after he appeared on television as Bruce Wayne, a.k.a. Batman.
Excuse me, I'll get it. Yes?
Does Ryan Richmond live here?
Oh, yes. Come on in. Thank you. Let me guess. You're from a California school.
Excuse me?
Don't tell me. UCLA. No. Berkeley.
Just Berkeley, yes.
Well, we're right in the middle of dinner now, but, why don't you join us? I'm sure you've had a long trip.
Well, thank you very much.
Come right this
Very
way.
nice of you.
I love your hair. It's just wild. I wish I had the nerve. 2 more guests. Ryan, this is... I'm sorry, I didn't get your name.
Charles and Edna Pinsky.
Right here to see you from Berkeley.
Berkeley? I didn't apply to Berkeley. Hi.
2 more places.
How is Berkeley these days? I remember once I spoke there in the late 60s. It was such a hotbed of political activity.
Yes. Well, we're much more concerned with...
Vibrations.
Vibrations.
Yeah, vibrations as they relate to...
Past life frequencies. Cross-planular cellular transmutation, transfiguration, and transportation. Intra-dimensional sexual reproduction.
My, how advanced.
Oh, well, thank you.
Ow!
Ryan!
What's wrong?
I don't know. my suspicions.
Well, why isn't everybody eating? Come on, pass. And there's lots more in the kitchen.
Mwah.
So, does anybody in the family have diabetes?
Diabetes?
Oh, I don't think,
Back, Alexandra!
That's a really very interesting hairdo you have there, young lady.
I'll get that, babe.
There. Now she can't get out even if she wanted to.
You guys found out about my blood type, didn't you?
Yes.
I don't believe the Red Cross gives out that kind of information. What are you guys, some kind of black market blood dealers or something?
Please.
Look, I have a lot of problems, things you wouldn't understand, and I don't need people coming over to my house under false pretenses, jabbing me during dinner and stealing my blood.
If what we suspect is true, Ryan, you won't have to worry about college next year.
I don't get it. What are you guys talking about, some kind of scholarship?
Well, thanks again. Tell your mother thanks for a wonderful dinner. Peas, carrots, ham.
I appreciate it.
We'll stay in touch.
Sure. Take care. Bye-bye. They're talking about some kind of scholarship.
Okay, last but not least, we're now moving to a movie called Double Trouble from 1992. Now, I'm including Roddy McDowell in this because, for me, he was most remembered in The Twilight Zone. In only one episode. But he really stole that episode. So, Roddy McDowell. And here's the movie Double Trouble. And Bill Mumy from Lost in Space and The Twilight Zone.
You're late. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I had an audition. Anyway, my name's Bob. I'll be your driver. Can I get that for you? Los Angeles International Airport. Yes, sir.
And James Doohan. He first appeared in The Twilight Zone and then later became more well known as Scotty in Star Trek. And this is the first time since appearing in movies that he has not played Scotty.
No, I can't. It's your funeral.
Roddy McDowell.
Apparently, there's been a breach in security, Alice. Now, who do you suppose it was?
Must have been Donald.
Must have been Donald. Tucked away there, safely in prison, lifting his weights, and discussing my security system with every convict he takes a long shower with.
We can get somebody inside.
Well, now, it's a little late for that now, don't you think? Ellis. And since you're head of security, I'm afraid I have to hold you accountable. Bob. Tito, you're new head of security. Jeremy, I'll need to have lunch with Mr. Kent. And let's make sure he doesn't have any more nervous employees like Mr. Vasquez who need to make calls to the police department. Tito, I know I don't have to tell you what to do. Yeah, but I will. I want you to track down our little intruder and get that fucking card back.
And finally, to top it all off, here's good old Scotty of the USS Enterprise, James Doohan.
Detective Jade, this is Stephen Tarlow from the District Attorney's Office and Agent Braeden from the FBI.
Hi. Nice to meet you.
You'll have to excuse my voice. I've been screaming at assholes all morning. But before we get into this, I just wanted to say that I was sorry to hear about your partner. The entire department grieves for her husband and family. But Detective Jade, you assaulted a fellow officer and put Lieutenant Albers in the hospital. Now, what do you have to say about that?
I should have put him in the morgue.
You know well that shit doesn't go very far with me. You're a good cop, Jade, but you've got to learn to control your temper. Now, this is the last episode I want to hear about you. Am I making myself clear?
Yes, sir.
Chief, may we please? All right. I knew this wasn't going to be easy for you, so I wanted to be here to introduce you to your new partner.
What's he doing here?
This is your new partner.
No way.
Yes way. The suspect's legal counsel is convinced the district attorney's office that your brother may have evidence which will assist us in a federal prosecution.
No way.
Yes way. The suspect's been given immunity from the burglaries, providing he can...
You guys bought this bullshit. Can't you see his line? He'll say anything to keep from going to jail.
Objection, Your Honor.
Know this guy. I can't trust him. He'll try to get away.
That's why we're sending Agent Regan along with you.
Jade, this Is it not an elective assignment?
Hey, why me?
Yeah, why him? Believe me, you were not my first choice. You put my first choice in the hospital.
Sorry, but I ain't doing it.
Detective, need I remind you, you work for me.
Not anymore. I quit. See? I told you he was a quitter.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you soon. Take care.